Well guys, media desperation's going wild as yet another smear job on Farage and Reform was shot at by Channel 4 yesterday.
We've gone undercover inside Nigel Farage's Reform UK campaign in Clacton, and we recorded extremely offensive language, including this canvasser saying people seeking asylum should be shot.
Get the young recruits there, yeah, with guns on the beach, target practice, to shoot them.
Racist language was repeatedly used, here directed at the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak.
We got him. What's good is he?
And homophobia from Farage's inner circle.
Did you see that degenerate flag on the front bonnet? What the old Bill doing promoting that crap?
We've previously revealed offensive, racist comments made by some Reform candidates. They've since been dropped by the party.
Now, as you can see, this smear involves people helping Farage with his campaign and not actually Farage himself. So this is probably one of the most desperate and pathetic attempts at a smear you can get, but that's about the media's level, ain't it? Either way though, the best they have is spicy words from a campaign volunteer, which to anyone voting Reform is gonna mean sweet fuck all. And even less so when the internet has found out some pretty interesting information that could prove media shenanigans are at play here.
Interesting.
This is because Twitter has found one of the people making these comments and it seems he might be an actor.
I am shocked. Shocked!
Oh yeah, within hours of this hit piece coming out, people on Twitter had found this guy's acting profile, which obviously begs the question, was he paid to infiltrate Reform? I mean, it would be some coincidence for Channel 4 to stumble across the one racist in the Reform campaign who just happened to be an actor while they're doing their undercover work.
Yeah, we got a word for that kind of odd in English. It's called suspicious.
A so-called Reform UK activist turns up in the Clacton office last Saturday, goes out with an undercover, apparently, Channel 4 news team, and makes a series of very, very racist, derogatory remarks about Rishi Sunak. And yet, overnight, we found out that the guy is an actor. So we called him this morning. The Daily Telegraph called him this morning. He denied being an actor. After a short period of time, he admitted to other media outlets that he was an actor. And then we found his own website, where he speaks and advertises his services for adverts, for acting, whatever else it may be. And he describes himself as being very well spoken, but he has an alter ego. He can do what he calls rough talk, all right? Now, when he turned up in the office in Clacton last Saturday, I was there at the desk working. He turned up and it was proper call blimey governor, right? He was playing the alter ego. He was acting and not being himself from the moment he arrived. Then he goes out by coincidence on a canvassing team with an undercover reporter from Channel 4. We've also discovered over the course of the day that on another website, he advertises his services for doing undercover filming. I mean, you literally, this is like Netflix. You literally couldn't make this up.
Now, if it turns out he is actually a plant, this would be a complete clusterfuck for Channel 4 and, to be honest, the media in general. But it would be music to my ears seeing the biblical bedshitting that will follow it, you can be bloody sure. Though just the fact that he is an actor instantly draws into question the credibility of Channel 4's undercover work, though to be honest they didn't really have credibility to start with, did they? And even more so when they don't do this to the other parties, as Nigel Farage said when he was challenged by a Channel 4 tart yesterday.
Would you apologise to the Prime Minister for the appalling racist way that one of your campaigners spoke about Rishi Sunak?
It was horrible.
Do you apologise to the Prime Minister?
It was horrible.
That's not quite an apology, is it?
You can't, how much further can I go? Of course it's an apology. It was horrible. I don't know who this bloke is. Somebody I met once years ago. I mean, awful, horrible, horrible. Almost as bad as the Labour candidate in Clacton and his slurs on white people. Have you covered that?
I'm here to focus
No.
on...
Have you covered the Labour? No.
We scrutinise all of the parties and their campaigns. But if you are as appalled by this as you say you are, why are you trying to deflect? Why are you trying to deflect if you are as appalled as you say you are?
Have you covered the racism of the Labour
Because I would like to ask you also about the members of your inner circle, because they've also made homophobic, racist, xenophobic comments, people who have senior roles in your campaign in Clacton.
I would drink white men's tears. I'm standing for black and Asian people, not pretty.
Now, is it just me, or did she drop logs in her G-string when he pointed that out? Because the media have done their best to ignore Poundshot Doctor Who's racism, which I'm guessing most of you have actually noticed. In fact, her response there shows the blatant bias Channel 4 has when it comes to reform, so the actor being placed there by the media really wouldn't shock me at all. But even if he isn't a media paid-for plant, I am still laughing at the desperate smear job attempts that really ain't cutting through, it's gotta be said. The only question is, how desperate will they get in the coming few days, because it's really getting close to the election now.
Pandemic.
Where